All right, good morning and happy Monday. It is just right after the summer solstice and an absolutely gorgeous morning here in Atlanta and just outside here in downtown Roswell. And before I teach my class here at Corsi Yoga, which always is an amazing time. So this week, the focus is on all of the micro shifts in our lives, the day-to-day actions that we have, and all those micro shifts, how they create a compounding effect to make up the big moments in our lives. So, for example, today's meditation is, just not a long one, about 5-10 minutes, and those small moments, right, that we take to just get still and get quiet, get centered, have a huge impact on the rest of our day. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Samson. So glad you guys could join me. So when we think about the micro shifts in our lives, we want to think of the small things, right? Like the small shifts that we make each day, like maybe the ability to stay patient just 1 minute longer than we have in the past, or maybe the fact that we got up this morning to meditate, right? Maybe something we didn't do yesterday, and that's okay. And it's that we actually acknowledge ourselves for that small shift. It is the day in and day out habits that we do every day that will create big change in our lives. So this will actually be my last meditation for the next month, as I'm heading to Peru Friday. Oh my God, slightly freaking out about it, to finish up my 500-hour teacher training. And I'm super excited about it. Also, of course, crazy nervous about leaving my kids and my husband for a month. And of course, leaving out all my students and my clients. But I'm super excited for what I'll get to learn and what I get to bring back to everyone when I get back to here to Atlanta. Yeah, and Samson is watching in all the way from Africa, which is so incredible, right? Like, we can do this together. We can do this here in Atlanta. We can do this in Africa. We can do this in South Florida. We can do this in Peru. So who knows? Maybe I'll be able to jump on and do some morning meditations live while I'm in Peru. I just don't want to plan them, as I don't know yet what that schedule will look like. And right, that's part of life, is just learning to be okay with not always knowing and just kind of flow, just being in the flow of life. So let's go ahead and get started with our meditation. We'll start with a little alternating nostril breathing. So you can take your first two fingers, place it right around your third eye, close off the right nostril, and then just a gentle inhale up the left side. And then pause there, close off both sides, and then exhale quietly out your right side. Inhale up your right side. Pause for just a moment, and then exhale out your left side. Inhale up your left side. And then pause, and then quietly exhale out your right side. And inhale up your right side. Take your time. Pause at the top, at your third eye, and then exhale out your left side. You can just drop your hands maybe down on your lap, palms down or up. And take a moment just to ground down through your sit bones and lift up through the crown of your head. Feel your shoulders soften away from your ears. And if you're comfortable, maybe allow your eyes to just close. And as your eyes close, take a moment to just present yourself with your space. And of course with my space too. So you'll notice here that it's quite loud. And that's okay, right? So often I hear people say, I can't meditate unless it's perfectly quiet. Instead, I want you to allow yourself to be a part of the space you're in, no matter whether it's loud or quiet, whether it's hot or cold. No matter what's going on, we can always take the time to just get quiet from within and check in with what's going on inside of ourselves. So all that outside noise, all that chitter chatter, it will still be there, but it doesn't need to be a bother. Instead, it can just be a part of your experience. So start to just notice your body, right? Like notice if sitting up tall is uncomfortable. And if it is, just go ahead and put yourself against something. Maybe a wall or a cushion or a seat. So here, to me, I believe the most important part is to be comfortable in your physical body. For otherwise, the physical body will just distract you. It will keep you from being able to be fully present. And notice those micro shifts. So as you start to sit up tall, if that resonates, or sit back, start to just notice what you feel right now, maybe in your hips or your low back. Often the first area that comes to many of us when we're seated. Maybe start to feel the space across the back of your neck and across your shoulders. And then that space on the front of your chest. And just notice how everything feels right now without the desire to want to shift or change it. Just to allow yourself to fully experience it in this moment. Notice those micro shifts in your physicality. And then just start to notice your own breath. So without the need to control it or shift it or change it, just experience it. Notice if it gets stuck anywhere. Notice if it flows freely. And notice whether you want to judge it or not. And instead, can you just become aware of it? Just taking that time to just experience it. As it is. It's perfect, just the way it is. If you start to notice your breath gets tight, constricted, or stuck anywhere, see if you can breathe right through that. And that's where those micro shifts start to happen. And I love we have so many people on our meditation this morning. So it's really magical when we all meditate together, no matter where we are on this planet. As we draw our energies together to expand from in and out. Those micro shifts, right? They're super powerful. They connect us together. So take a moment now as you start to probably draw more into thought. Where are your thoughts? Benny, I love that you said you learned 2 things in the last 10 seconds, right? That's incredible. Just imagine those 2 things. They compound into 4, and then 6, then 8, then 10. And the impact, right, that just has on your life as a whole. I know for me that's been huge, massive changes in my life from these micro shifts. So as you start to just notice your thoughts, be aware of them and see if you can not attach yourself to them. All of us will start to judge our own thoughts. It's just natural human nature. But when you start to notice that you're in that space of judgment, can you draw yourself out of judgment and back into your breath? Or back into your body, back into this experience, right? The sounds, the temperature. So our thoughts have so much to offer us. And so many of us say, oh, I just want to stop my monkey mind. But what if you just allow your monkey mind, right, to happen on rapid fire? Imagine what you might be able to learn from it. Our minds are the most powerful thing we own. More powerful than money or time. Because they are what create everything in our lives. Our minds control, our thoughts control what we feel. And what we feel will directly impact the actions we take in our life, and those actions will create results. And it is through these micro shifts that we are able to create subtle, slight feelings that feel maybe more neutral, a little less negative, or even positive. And it's from that neutrality that we can create and take action. From action that we create the results we desire, no matter what that might be for you. So notice your thoughts. Just like you notice your breath and you notice your body, and you just keep returning. It's a cycle of micro shifts. And just ever so gentle. If you're lost in thought in this moment, right? No criticism, no judgment. Just come back to your own breath. Just feel your breath rise throughout your body, and then release from your body. And do it again. Just feel the breath. Invite it in all the way down into your belly, and then all the way up and out through the crown of your head. And come back to your own physicalness, right? Your physicality. Just feel what's underneath you. And then press down into it and just feel your skin and your muscles and your bones. Feel all of it. Notice your surroundings. All right, we start to pull away from the inward, back to the outward. Those micro shifts. And as you pull out, you can start to draw your palms in front of your heart and just slide your palms together and just create a little friction, little warmth between your hands. And then go ahead and place your hands over your eyes and just take a moment here. Take this moment, just acknowledge and honor yourself for taking the time this morning. Do something really good for you. Not just for you, but right for everyone you come in contact with throughout the rest of the day. Because as we meditate, it just doesn't only affect us, but actually our energy affects all those around us. So I acknowledge you for that, and so should you. And take the time every single day to notice the micro shifts that you create and the impact, the small impact they have on your life. I thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have an absolutely amazing, beautiful Monday, and I hope we check in soon again. Namaste.